Hello everybody, this is Sidekick, and today I want to talk about different ways to use the balanced loadout for water. Balanced loadout, if you haven't seen my tutorial videos, basically what I have here, I call it balanced because it's got two shields, two burst heals, and Solace of the Seas and Riptide, so basically two HOTs. Now, there are about maybe three different ways, maybe four ways that I use this, depending on the situation. First, let me start with when first situation would be whenever you have a tank that maybe their health is a little more volatile than you would like. When that happens, I like to double up on my 4-man shields instead of my 8-man shields. Now, keep in mind that any of these approaches or methods of using or ways of using the balanced loadout uh, they're all flexible. You can switch from one to the other. Obviously, it's just a matter of you noticing that there's a need in some aspect of the raid and you trying to fill that need. So let's just say that you have either tanks that are fire, so they need more protection. Their health seems to jump up and down a little more than other tanks. Or let's say, for example, you have some melee DPSs that love to be in front of the tank space, so you need to give them a little more protection. What I would do for that is instead of starting the rotation sort of with 8-man shield and doubling up that, I double up in 4-man shield. That's like this. So let's say I'm shooting, I'm regenerating power. 4-man up, the 4-man is already ready to go. When the cooldown is over, I pop it before the Riptide's cooldown because a lot of times, even though those shields are up, their health has already been brought down by the ads. As you can see, I'm keeping the 4-man shield up 100% of the time. Now this is what I use in alerts, and it's one of the reasons why it makes alerts so easy for water. Even when you get a new alert because of a new DLC, this way of using balanced loadout is pretty OP. So as you can see, the 4-man shield is up constantly. And okay, let's say for some reason, let's say there's a skull coming up, a skull attack by the boss that's going to hit everyone. Or if there's a skull attack that, oh no, let's say there's a phase, it might be a skull attack, but let's say there's a phase like in Hive Elite where there's going to be continuous damage and like the gas phase, sulfuric acid. Then in that situation, since healing, your healing is almost nothing, you're better off with shields. So when that happens, I go back to the 8-man, doubling up with the 8-man shield. Now, I still pop the 4-man right away as soon as it's available when I'm doubling up the 8-man. And I do that because I know some people think it's probably overkill to have two shields on half the group, but I don't agree when you're dealing with the highest level content. They hit so hard, there's no amount of protection that is too much protection, you know. So let's see, I'm still here. I'm still in the, doubling. I'm still using the doubling up on the 8-man shield method here. So I'm leaving Riptide available for the 8-man shield. Now, I don't like doing this because sometimes you have a period of a few seconds where there's no shielding, but for the most part, you're okay. I mean, other healing powers, they have to deal with that more often than you do as water. The shields being down thing. First heals if needed. See, I was saving Riptide for the shield. So that's what I do during, phases where there's continuous damage. Now let's go back to doubling up on the 4-man shield. Let's see that again. So yeah, just maintaining, just having like a fluid mindset, fluid, yeah, no pun intended, a fluid mindset when you're dealing with this power, being able to switch back and forth depending on what's going on. Now I'm going to switch to double 8-man. No, actually, you know what? Double Solace of the Seas and then alternating the shield. So now we have 4-man up, which lasts 12 seconds. Now we have the 8-man up. When that goes down, 4-man. And just keep alternating. See, the 4-man goes down, the 8-man will become available, double up on the HOT, 8-man shield again. So I think that's 3. So doubling up on the 4-man shield, doubling up on the 8-man shield, and doubling up on the HOTs while alternating the shields. And meanwhile, paying attention to the bars, we will burst heal if necessary. 4-man's up, down, 8-man. Double HOTs, wait for the 8-man to come down, 4-man. So yeah, again, the one with the double HOTs, probably my least favorite one, although it has its purposes. Sometimes I just do that when, for some reason, having to throw burst heals, threw my timing off, so maybe the shields aren't available and only the HOT and Riptide is available. So when that happens, I might just decide to go with double HOT until the shield is available. But for the most part, my favorite one is doubling up on the 8-man shield. Again, like that. Immediately using 4-man. I used to wait, but now that I'm using Accelerated Bubble, I don't wait for 4-man anymore. I use it right away. See? Like right here. See, if right now, if things are going bad and I don't want to wait for shields, then I'll double up on the HOT until the 4-man shield is available. See, that was a perfect example of a situation where doubling up on the HOTs might have helped where the shields are still on cooldown. But like I said, my favorite is doubling up on the 8-man shield, essentially giving the whole group a 12-second shield, and then going to the 4-man shield and the single HOT. But probably the most effective and the one I've been using the most has been resetting whichever shield is available at the time. Because as I said before, in elite raids, they hit so hard and so often that even if the shields are up, they're probably about to go down and probably going to go down a lot earlier than their 12 or 6-second time. So that's why it's not a waste to pop a shield a little bit earlier if you're dealing with high elite or machine. And the tanks, they benefit from it very much. Anyway, I'll see you in the next one.